Welcome back, eh? This is the Canadian Silver Seeker, and I hope you guys are having another great day like I am. So, in front of me, I have my entire week's purchases of silver. I bought a little bit more than I usually do. Silver spot is at about $65 an ounce CAD, which is just crazy. It's like $20 more than just a few weeks ago, it seems like. But I took advantage. I found a deal on Kijiji, guy that I bought the $10 and 925 silver coins off of last week. I bought a bit of 925 and some 80% off again this week. I went to the LCS, but the LCS owner wasn't around, so I couldn't do a trade. All I could do was buy my $5 of silver quarters this week from his daughter. She isn't fully versed in the business, so she can only sell things that are pre-priced and so on and so forth. She doesn't really do trade deals and stuff, but he'll be back next week. He was actually back today, but I didn't expect him to be back today. I was told he was going to be back next week, so I didn't take my trades in, but I did buy, like I say, an extra $5. It was, I believe, 12 925 coins, and it was 8 80% coins. So I took all the 925s. I've got exactly $10 I'll take in there for trade next week. I did talk to him about it today, and he said he'll probably make a deal with me. So even if I only get $10.50 or $10.25, 80%, technically the weight would be about $11.25, maybe $11.50 if you're not counting for anywhere. But if I even get $10.50 of 80% quarters, I'll be happy, because technically the weight doesn't matter to me. I just want to fill my big bag of $1,000 of quarters and get there faster. So anyways, I got this cheaper than I would have got it at the LCS, but I was also thinking, with the huge increase in spot prices this week, I have pictures I always take of his silver dollar books when I look through it. And I was like, a bunch of those silver dollars are way below spot. Maybe I should just go pick them up, even though I already have some of them. So I went through his book. I picked up 4 silver dollars here. I got all of those at spot or below spot, and those are 4 that I needed for my collection, so I get to add that up. I got 221 unique Canadian silver dollars now. I'll go over these in another video when I pull out their like coins, just so I can go over mintages and blah 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 with you. But I did, like I said, I went through his book. I was sitting there last night thinking, I was like, I gotta phone him up and see if he's open tomorrow and go check out his book and just take advantage of some of the deals in spot, because he often doesn't change his prices on his coins, and then I get them for way cheaper. So these first 2 here, actually in front, as you can see, I got them for $38 a piece. There's a 2000 and then there's a 2011, and both of those are approximately 7.5 of an ounce of silver. They're 925 silver in those specific years. And yeah, so that 925 silver actually 0.75 of an ounce times by 64 dollars an ounce silver. So I'm actually going down rather than rounding up, because well, the LCS said it was over 65. I'd still show 64 something on my phone, but I rounded it down to 64, and the value of 0.75 of an ounce at $64 spot is actually $48. So I got these guys for $10 below spot, which is amazing. I love it. This guy is a 2003, so it's actually 0.809 of an ounce of silver. It's made of pure silver, 2003 to 2006. And so that 0.8 of an ounce of silver works out to be about $51 spot price alone. So I had to pick this guy up as well. There were actually a few more in the book. I might go back and pick up next week. I kind of ran out of money because I took a look for the first time ever at his quarter book because I know he mentioned it a few months back that someone had went through and found a bunch below spot. And so I was thinking about that last night with the increase in spot, and I was like, ooh, I wonder if I can get some deals. And I actually got $4.50, and I got it for cheaper than I got the $5 this week from the LCS. And that was because, well, when I get the $5 bunches, he adds tax onto that, as he should. But when I buy from his books, if it's pre-marked a particular price, like in this case is $7.50, some of them were $7. I got all of his $7, $7.25, $7.50, and $7.75 quarters, because one quarter this week is worth approximately $9.50 spot price alone. So I got all of these, and he had a bunch of $8 ones. He had a bunch of $9 ones, which will all be cheaper than when I go to buy another $5. And these ones are all like semi-graded. I don't know, unprofessionally graded, you could say. But yeah, it was worth it for me. Getting it below spot. And I said I might just come back next week and get all these $8 ones too, because $5 of quarters that are graded in 8 with no tax, that's $160. That is going to be $40 cheaper than what I'm going to be paying for the quarters. He said, oh, they'll be all repriced by next week, but I think if I go there Monday, I'd probably catch him before he changes his prices in his books, because he's got always a lot to do. So Kitty wants to go buy here. Ooh, here you go, Kitty. But yeah, it was nice to get a bunch of silver below spot. I got a couple dollars of beautiful ones you can see the dates on here. So between 1920, phone isn't focusing very well there, 1920 and 1935 or something like that, these go up to. And so those are all the King George V before they changed to the caribou background, and King George VI. That's awesome. I'll be able to put those away there in the 80%. I already put a few 925s away, and then, I don't know, I did some shuffling around there to make sure that I had $10.95 to take to him next week to trade. But yeah, hopefully I'll get to the LCS early next week and get lucky and buy a bunch more semi-graded coins for cheaper than they're actually worth. I guess, what did I get here? I got $2 of 1920 to 1935 or 36, I believe it is. I can't remember the exact years here. Let's see, let's pull it out. Yeah, 1936, King George V goes up. And then King George VI here, I got 75 cents in the $5 bunch. And then I got another 4 this week that are, semi-graded. I'm going to take them out of these slips, and they're just going to go into tubes. None of it's worth more than silver price to me. I don't care how shiny it is. I don't really care. I don't know, a guy could try to make a buck if I was trying to sell it off of the shiny ones, but I just want to fill the bag. What did I get? I got $3.75 of Queen Elizabeth and her laureate portrait in my $5. And then what do I got? I got $2.75 of semi-graded ones here. They're all fairly nice, but they're just gonna come out. And then I got 50 cents of Queen Elizabeth, her second portrait, and another 75 cents of it. So I don't think any of that is quite enough to roll yet here. We are getting close with King George the VI. But yeah, that's about it for this week. Maybe you guys should take advantage of your LCS too with the high spot prices. If your LCS grades things like this and puts prices on them, hey, you might just get lucky and find a bunch of silver for cheaper than spot with the recent increases in spot prices. I wish you luck in finding that. That's about it for today. Thanks for listening to me ramble. Remember, it doesn't cost you a single piece of silver or gold to like and subscribe. You guys mean the world to me. Happy stacking, eh?